Tide Nation, when we unveiled the locker drop game with Matt Cadell, y'all went crazy. I mean, y'all love the locker drop game, continue to like the locker drop game. So we decided to give you something else. We decided to give you a little bit of something different. So now, to pair with locker drop, we got buy, sell, or hold a six-pack of questions. Got a six-pack of interactive questions for you, the fans, when it comes down to this particular Alabama football team for this fall, for 2021 season. As we get into the first question right here. First question, Alabama's defense will get 50-plus sacks this season. And, the Alabama defense, of course, the last 3 years, going back to 2018, the Bama defense has been told, you guys are no longer elite, you're no longer good, you're no longer dominant, you're no longer showstoppers. And the Bama defense has gotten tired of that. They've gotten irritated by that. They've gotten frustrated by that. They're fired up off of it. And, this year's defense, hungry, determined, fierce, ready to take somebody's head off their body. I remember we had a couple of callers call into the show last week and asking, Steven, does Bama have those guys like Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne and Quentin Williams, those guys that got after the quarterback and stuffed the run? I'm kind of concerned. Do we have those guys on this year's defense? So, John, in answering the first question, cue the first answer up.
I'm headed to the bank right now.
I'm buying it. I'm buying the Bama defense getting those sacks this season. So, moving on into the next question here of the conversation. Bryce Young. Bryce Young will total 35 touchdown passes in the coming fall. And when you look at Bill O'Brien, wherever he's gone, he has gotten a lot, or he's gotten the majority, he's gotten the maximum effort out of his quarterbacks, whether he was at Penn State with Christian Hackenberg or Matt McGloin, whether he was at, the New England Patriots with Tom Brady, that 2011 year, Tom Brady over 5,000 passing yards, Tom Brady, 39 touchdowns. With Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans, Watson had a couple of years where he had 33 touchdown passes. So, question being, will Bryce Young will toss 35 TD passes in the first year with Bill O'Brien as the OC. John, drop that answer one time.
I'm headed to the bank right now.
Cash money, we gonna buy that. Bryce Young will have those 35 touchdown passes this season. Next question here of the conversation, and that goes to one B-Rob, one Brian Robinson. So Brian Robinson will rush for 1,000 yards this year. I like Brian Robinson. I like his power. I like his strength. I like his leadership. I like his ability. I like what he can do. But Bama also, likes to rotate those backs. When you look at what Jace McClellan's been doing this offseason and what he did in the spring game and what he did last year, you want to see more of him. And what Roydell Williams did in the spring game, you want to see more of him. And can Trey Sanders shake off the injury bug? You want to see him. And then Kamar Wheaton is having a good summer thus far. You want to see him. So Brian Robinson will rush for 1,000 yards. John, drop the answer. Gonna sail this one, man. Like B-Rob, but gonna sail on this one. Do not see this happen. So, moving on. Next question here, the conversation in buy, sell, or hold. We look at Will Anderson. Will Anderson will set the Crimson Tide single-season sack record that's been held by Derek Thomas since 1988. That number is 27. When you look at Will Anderson, we saw what he did last year. Even when he missed getting to the quarterback on plays, we saw the quick step, we saw the burst, we saw the ferocity, we saw the explosiveness. End of the year, 7 sacks, 10.5 tackles for loss, a bunch of quarterback hurries. Yes, he's got other guys on the same field with him. When you talk Chris Allen, when you talk Christian Harris, when you talk Tim Smith, Fidarian Mathis, among other guys. But people love Will Anderson. So Will Anderson getting that single season sack record. John, what's my answer?
Hold up.
Hold on that. Like Will, but just hold on that. Put a pin in that for right now. Moving on to the next here, thought here, buy, sell, or hold. We got the receiver room. Everybody's been having questions here about the wide receiver room. But the idea is Will a receiver from the 2020 class become the number 4 option at that position? Well, y'all know John Mechie's going to be number 1. Jamison Williams is doing his thing. He more than likely will be number 2 of a transfer from Ohio State, which will bump Slade Bolden down to number 3. But will one of these 2020 wide receivers from that class, when you talk Javon Baker, when you talk Trayshawn Holden, when you talk Thaiu Jones-Bell, will one of those 3 be able to hold off a freshman like a Najah Hall, like a Christian Leary, like a JoJo Earl, like a Ja'Cory Brooks, and get on that field? Will a receiver from the 2020 class be the number 4 option? John, what's the answer? Not seeing it. Not seeing it. Not seeing it happen. Could happen, but to me, just not seeing it. Selling that one right there. Next one, we got here the final one of buy, sell, or hold. Will Reichert, the Alabama kicker. Will Reichert will go perfect. He will go perfect this season, executing field goals for a second straight time. It was just so refreshing not having to cuss and swear and drink and smoke and do rituals and saying it must be nice to have a kicker and didn't have a kicker. And of course, all of you as fans, it was very refreshing for you to sit there and watch Will Reichert make every field goal last year. It was very refreshing to watch him go 14 for 14 and make all 84 of his extra point attempts. I mean, Alabama was so dynamic last year that it kind of got pushed under the radar that Will Reichert was perfect. But big one right here. Will Reichert goes perfect for a second consecutive year. John, throw my answer.
Hold up.
I don't want to jinx him. Hold on that. I don't want to jinx him. I don't want to be the cause of him slipping. I don't want to do it. So we're going to hold that answer for right now. Love Will. Love Reichert. But I want to hold that. Do not want to jinx him. So that's the game right there, folks. Buy, sell, or hold. 6-pack of questions talking Alabama football, particularly for this season.